Draft profiles are back, not wasting any time. The quarterbacks keep rolling on, and you guys know the last name. You probably know the first name. You put them together, you got a first-round talented quarterback. Shedeur Sanders Cravante, maybe the most polarizing or one of the more polarizing figures in this class.
Oh yeah, by far, easily, and it's probably more so from his last name than his first name. But he is a solid prospect that I believe will be picked in the first round.
Let's get to the information on Mr. Sanders. High school four-star recruit, top 100 overall, 12,627 yards, 166 touchdowns in his career in high school. Won the national championship his senior year, 3,700 yards, 43 touchdowns. Committed to play at Florida Atlantic over SEC offers, but went to Jackson State when his dad was named the coach. At Jackson State in 2021, won the Jerry Rice Award like Cam Ward as the top freshman in FCS. Second team also at Conference Freshman of the Year, all 13 games, 3,231 yards, 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and 3 rushing touchdowns. 2022 at Jackson State, SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference Player of the Year, first team all SWAC, finalist for the Walter Payton Award, top player in the FCS, HBCU first team All American, school record 40 passing touchdowns with 3,752 yards, 40 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 6 rushing touchdowns. 2023 All Pac 12, honorable mention, 8th in the FBS with 69.3 completion percentage, 3,230 yards, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 4 rushing touchdowns. Missed the finale with a fractured back. 2024, second team All American, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, first team All Big 12, finalists for the Davey O'Brien Award, which Cam Ward won. School record 64 passing touchdowns and a 74% completion percentage as well. 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4,134 yards as well. And his father is Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. Cravante, the number one possibly quarterback coming out at the time, goes to Jackson State, puts HBCUs along with his dad and Travis Hunter and others on the map.
Yep.
Dominates there, goes to higher competition, dominates there, puts Colorado on the map with the same cast of characters, and now he's a first-round QB. But where's the disconnect with Shedeur, Cravante? And what do you see? Strengths, weaknesses?
I think so. The disconnect is his last name and who his father is. That is the disconnect. He gets a lot of backlash from the media because of how he carries himself on the field as a football player and all that. But you know who his pops is. His pops carried himself very similarly. You know, now prime time in the 90s was way different, but you know, for this day and age, this is about right for him with the y'all mean showing the ice. You know what I'm saying? He's a flashy guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm here and I'm gonna let y'all know I'm here. So he gets some backlash and some flack from the media, but nonetheless, let's jump into him as a football player because that's what this is supposed to be about, right? Outstanding accuracy. You talked about it before. He's over 70% for his career. Pretty much throughout his collegiate career. You know, pretty much plateau over 70%, which and 132 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. Absolutely, he can be surgical with a clean pocket. Gotta be a clean pocket. When a clean pocket, when protected, Sanders can sit back in the pocket and really carve up opposing defenses. Because again, the accuracy is there. Usually, from a quarterback perspective, you want the accuracy there first. So that's a huge box that he's checking. He's checking going into his scouting report. The confidence and the calmness. His pops is primetime Deion. I'm sure he told him, like, hey man, listen, you carry yourself like this, the game is going to go like this. You are in control, especially from a quarterback position. Now, his dad played corner, so it's a little bit different because Shedeur has more of an impact on his game nowadays than his pops did back in the day. But he has a very confident and calmness in critical moments. And again, As a son of Deion Sanders, pressure has followed the young quarterback back into Jackson State and Colorado, University of Colorado days from a competitive aspect. Now, jumping to the weaknesses, he's similar to Cam Wharton in a couple ways. Trying to make a play. They're big on trying to make a play because they from their team, the aspect is like, hey, we have to make a play. They both hold on to the ball, excuse me, a little too long. So while Cam Wharton may find themselves turning the ball over a lot, Shedeur Sanders takes a lot of sacks. Just holding on the ball too long, trying to make a play. And also he drifts in the pocket sometimes unnecessarily a lot. Instead of stepping up and sensing the pressure and moving like that. Sometimes he can drift back a little too far and just calls himself like into a negative play. Also, he's pretty average on the athletic side of things. Average arm strength. Like I said, the biggest plus is his accuracy, but as far as arm strength is pretty, it's pretty mid for the most part. And he's not a guy who's going to be running around a lot. I'm sure he'll pick his spots, but he's a guy that's going to win from the pocket. So if you keep him clean and keep him upright, Shedeur can take you to the promised land. But it ain't too many quarterback runs. He ain't gonna have no Jaden Daniels highlights, no Lamar Jackson like highlights. That's not his game. He's gonna win from the pocket.
What do you see him comparing to at the pro level? And I guess the question we all want to know: where does he go?
This is a great question. I've heard so many things throughout the time since the season ended. So first things first, the player comp. Player comp that I've seen most is Geno Smith. We know the impact that Geno had coming out of West Virginia, and he was a top tier talent as well. But where does he go? My gosh, it's a wide range. I think Shedeur Sanders probably has the biggest wide range of where he can go in the draft. The highest is 2 to the Cleveland Browns, but his floor is, I believe, 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, like I said, he has the biggest gap from his floor to ceiling, but ideally, I think he's going to go lower in the draft than higher. I think he'll be closer to the floor as opposed to the ceiling, because there's a lot of guys at the top. There's a lot of organizations at the top of the draft that's like cleaning up their quarterback room a little bit, because pretty much all of them probably be looking for jobs next year if this don't work out. So picking a rookie quarterback right now ain't gonna save you. Sure, he's a good player, good prospect, but he's not gonna save a franchise, nor is he gonna save your job like a Lamar Jackson did for John Harbaugh. He's not that. You know what I'm saying? So I think Cleveland and New York, at least in the first 2 pick, in the second and third pick, they're probably not gonna pick a quarterback there. But I could see Cleveland possibly coming back up into the first round with their second round pick, which is the first pick in the second round, the 33rd pick, and getting back into the back end of the first round to get a Shedeur Sanders. And if not, they probably gonna have to jump in front of Pittsburgh for that as well, because I think Pittsburgh is going to take a quarterback.
How about this? We heard the news over the past couple of days. Derek Carr, shoulder injury. Season could be in doubt. New Orleans. How do you feel about maybe number 9, New Orleans Saints? I know they got Spencer Rattler, but I'm taking Shedeur if he's there. Got to. They need something. They got a lot of weapons, man.
Sure.
They're not a bum team.
No, it's just it's a mixture of injuries and they're not getting what they need out of the coaching staff. Um, Kellen Moore is there, Super Bowl Super Bowl champion, offensive coordinator from the Philadelphia Eagles is there. How does he like running his offense? What fits his scheme? We seen him
He don't
with
run the
Dak
ball. We
Prescott.
know that. He don't run the ball. Well, he ran it this year, but usually he didn't
He
before.
had
It's
Saquon.
like
There ain't
this
no
year he
choice.
started. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had
Yeah,
Saquon this year. Ain't no,
yeah, yeah.
we going to run the football. I don't care what you do. We got arguably the best running back in the league, but it's between him and Derrick Henry, you're going to run the ball. But he's had Dak Prescott. He's had Jalen Hurts. We seen him have to make adjustments because we saw what he did with the Cowboys and what he's done with the Eagles. Now, if he's smart, he would probably go to Ben Johnson route and get that offensive line together. And that's first on the checklist. How does he feel about Spencer Rattler? He doesn't have any attachment to him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a Shedeur Sanders at 9 because I don't. Derek Carr was the man. He has an injury. We don't know how that's going to go. And Spencer Rattler, I don't really know bull. So if you want to spark New Orleans, bring a Sanders to town. That's one way to do it. But it's gonna be interesting to see what Kellen Moore wants to do. And has he chosen? I know he's getting his stat together. Is there an offensive coordinator there yet?
I will let you know. I would have to look that up. I do not know.
Shedeur Sanders.
Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah,
I do not know who his staff is. Let me look that up real quick.
yeah. It's gonna. I'm interested to see how his staff is going to unfold and who he's picking at defensive coordinator, and all of that. But number one, if you're an accurate quarterback, listen, he'll make it work.
So we have. Let me go to the page now. So Kellen Moore is the head coach. Offensive coordinator Doug Neusmeyer. The defensive coordinator Cravante. You want something that's gonna knock you out your socks on this day. A surprise that you probably know this guy was still coaching after when he went through as a head coach. He is now the head defensive guy, the defensive coordinator for your New Orleans Saints. It is none other than the late, great, former Los Angeles Chargers head coach, one of your famed, illustrious
Oh
goofies of
gosh.
the week multiple
Oh my
times
god.
over.
Oh my
Brandon
god.
Staley
Get off
is
my
the
turn it off.
defensive coordinator.
Turn the TV off. Jesus Christ. Turn the TV off. Kellen Moore, you messing up. Kellen Moore, you're messing up. You're messing up right there, baby. It's all on you offensively, because defensively, it ain't it. I hate. Oh boy, I hate that for the
There you
Saints.
go.
I
There he is.
absolutely hate. Oh my gosh, how does he get jobs? How do they get jobs, man? It's all about who you know. Obviously, it's all about who you know, because your track record is not great. Listen. I've been down on Brandon Staley since the beginning. I did not think he deserved the Charger job, and kept it. Not only did he not deserve it, he kept it longer than he should have. And now he's the defensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. Oh man, we'll see how long that lasts. I think it's safe to say the offense will get better before the defense. Can't believe
Just had
this,
to.
man.
I'm glad we looked that up because I didn't even know that.
Brandon Staley,
I
you
didn't
got to
plan
be
that. I
kidding
didn't
me.
plan that.
You
I didn't
got to
plan
be
that.
kidding me. You got to be
Of all
kidding
the
me.
people, of all the defensive
All
coordinators,
people,
right?
yo. That must be his boy. That must be his man's. Cause nah, that ain't it, man. That ain't it. But Kellen Moore, I think young offensive coordinator, offensive mind, he's gonna get the offense right sooner rather than later. But good luck on that defense.
Former wide receivers coach for the Ravens, Keith Williams, down there as well. So shout out to him. Last thoughts, Cavante, on Shedeur, and what do the people need to do if they're watching this right now?
He's gonna bring some a calmness and a calm confidence to your locker room and to your organization, but it ain't gonna be quiet. That's what it's not gonna be. So you have to take that into account when you take a guy like Shedeur Sanders. His dad is not gonna his dad should be coaching while he's playing, so he's not gonna be there, all the time. But because he does have his own job, but he's gonna make headlines because of who he's associated with and who he's related to, and it's not gonna be quiet. Not to say it's gonna be a circus, but it's not gonna be quiet. But he'll put butts in seats. That's one thing he'll do up front. Now we'll see how he goes with like training camp comes, with how he competes for the job. But I think if he gets in there, he's gonna beat out Spencer Rattler if that's the competition.
And if he goes to Pittsburgh and maybe they take Aaron Rodgers still, he can sit maybe if he needs to. So a lot of potential options for Shedeur that does not have to get thrown right in, like Cam Ward's when he get thrown right in.
Absolutely no. Cam Ward is happening. Day one start is happening. Shedeur, actually, the later he goes in the draft, I think that's gonna do well for him. He'll do better because as you get later into the draft, typically the teams and the organizations are better. So if he goes to Pittsburgh Steelers, I know you wouldn't necessarily want to see that, but he's going to a well-run organization and a black head coach. And I'm sure Mike Tomlin and Dion has had a conversation or two because it's been
Said he reminds him of his father, I think, when he visited him. So there you go.
Sure. So more success will come to Shedeur Sanders the later he goes in the draft. Like I said, the higher he goes, the more problems. It's a lot of other stuff. Like you got to deal with organizational problems, front office problems. You go to the Steelers, you're really not dealing with no organizational problems, and you go into a well-structured organization. And I think that's a great place where he can thrive.
We're thriving with the draft profiles, Cavante. Let the people know what they need to do if they watch.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications because the profiles are coming out, and please engage with us. Maybe we haven't covered some guys that you guys are familiar with. Let us know any guys that you guys may be aware of that you want us to cover that we haven't covered. Because we love the people, we love our engagement. So stay tapped in.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We'll keep it rolling with the QBs and all the other prospects of the 2025 draft with Cravante. Another draft profile in the books. Shedeur Sanders coming to a field near you.